What's going on, Scorpio? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're having a great week so far. So, for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, shares, donations. Your support really is just fantastic, Scorpio, and it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Higher Self has brought you here. You are in for an amazing journey. Now, the theme of this week's monthly spread is going to be business, Scorpio. We're just going to make moguls out of you yet. Or at least that's my hope. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one. So take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me, and never force a reading on a situation, okay? So with all that being said, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Gems, are literally all over the place. Perks of knowing someone with a background in geology here. So yeah, just good vibrations all around here, Scorpio. So if you might have noticed, I've changed up the space a little bit this week. I'm visiting family for a couple of weeks here, so kind of operating into new things. I felt like you were getting too comfortable, so I had to shake things up on you, Scorpio. But this spread that I'm going to be doing is going to be a 10-card spread, and I'll be doing clarifications as need be, and of course a good old surprise card at the end, Scorpio, just because I like you so much. And in case y'all were curious, I'm using Aleister Crowley's Thoth deck. OG deck here started this whole thing off, and I included a link for this deck and other decks that I like using down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested, Scorpio. But let's get in to your first card, which is going to be the current situation. So Higher Self, what is the current situation for Scorpio in business? Let's see what energy you're bringing today, Scorpio. Let's see what's going on with you, Scorpio. Yeah, okay, nice. I'm with that. You got the star card here, Scorpio. And with this, I feel like this is nice. When I come up with in business, I feel like, maybe some of us, we got something cooking up in the mix here. I feel like we're seeing so I feel like some of you are like really starting to realize your potential in something. You're getting ready to, maybe we've been kind of like, maybe we've been waiting for like the stars to align here, as far as like, taking that next move, whether you're going for that, that next promotion, starting up your own thing, maybe even like getting like a side hustle on the side here, Scorpio. But I do feel like that there's something brewing up in the mix here. Coming out major arcana right off the bat here, and you know what too, I feel like for some, maybe for some others, maybe we're in this place right now is like, we're sort of like, maybe, I don't want to say like we're in a brain bog, but maybe we're not feeling inspired, or, maybe we're not sure, what the next move is, or, how we're going to make that next like innovative step. Well, luckily for you, this card is Aquarius's card. And when I think about Aquarius, Aquarius is, where we've just, depending on when I'm releasing this, yeah, we're just getting into Aquarius season, and it's a time of like networking, so it might be time to like maybe like expand, maybe kind of work with some people here. But it's also the time of like, Aquarius energy is about like not just thinking outside of the box. Aquarius is the type, they'll kick that box over and they're going to make their own box. Hell, they're going to make a tower, like that's Aquarius energy. It's really just really seeing that unique unique way of doing things. They're very, when you want to think innovation, Aquarius is your answer here. So maybe if some of us, if we haven't been feeling like inspired, maybe just bounce some ideas off of some people you trust. Maybe it could be time to do some collaborating. Play with this energy right now, Scorpio, because I feel like this is gonna be some good stuff here. When I think about your energy, you're the type that is just like, you're gonna bring up not even just like the deep kind of things that are buried down, like the darkness, whatever. But I feel like it's like you're also able to bring up your potential to light, and really, maybe expose that stuff here, to bring that to the surface. I feel like it's not just about doing it for others. You can do that for yourself as well. Tap into your energy, transform into the greatest version of yourself here. And also with the star card, this could be too, maybe if we've been feeling like a situation, maybe something's kind of rocky right now, maybe we've run into maybe some snags, or maybe just like some hiccups along the way. Well, the star card is also a card of like unexpected help. So if that's something that maybe has been going on, Scorpio, I feel like there's a chance that that there's going to be some help coming in here soon. Or maybe this could be an indicator too. Maybe it's time to like maybe ask for some assistance, and there's nothing wrong with that. I feel like if you need like just like maybe someone to kind of maybe you're the type that like you can run a good business here, but maybe finances is not in your a strength that you're still working on. Partner with someone maybe who has that strength, and then they're focusing on building you up in this aspect. You can help them bring your stuff here, and then look at that. We just got this great harmony here. We're working with the energy. So ooh, lot to unpack here, but I mean, look at you, Scorpio, you're bringing it. So yeah, I dig that. I feel like, and even just at a base level, if we had to take anything from this, know that there's hope, Scorpio, and whatever that you're getting ready to accomplish, whatever you're trying to achieve in your business realm, that there is hope as long as we keep that. If we tell ourselves like, oh well, this thing is going to fail, well, whatever, it's not going to happen. Well, then what do you think's going to happen? That's the energy that we're putting out here. But if we keep on keeping on, and that this thing, and not just keeping on just to keep on because it's raising your vibration. And maybe you're just in because even with good stuff, Scorpio, you're going to run into hiccups along the way. But if it's raising your vibration, maybe we just need to, again, think outside of the box. And maybe instead of like jumping over the wall, maybe we need to go left. And maybe we need to go underneath the wall. Figure it out. Play around with this energy here. I feel like this is a really good time to like really just kind of, stretch your imagination to its limit here and really just kind of push the envelope. So, yeah, I'll leave that there. Let's get into your next card, which is going to be some current challenges. So, higher self, what are some current challenges that Scorpio may be facing at this time? Let's see. Let's get a little bit more into this potential that you're bringing to the table, Scorpio. See what's going on there. Look at you, Major Arcana City. You got the Chariot here, Scorpio. So I feel like a challenge. Maybe some of us are maybe not feeling motivated. I feel like maybe some of us, we had a good momentum, but maybe it's just like we're losing steam. You know what I mean? Because that's what the Chariot, I feel like it's about that forward momentum here. Maybe let's say, for example, if you were aiming for like that next manager, let's say a managerial position opened up and you're trying to aim for this thing, but we're worried about maybe we're worried about Sally and Bobby over here. Well, Scorpio, don't worry about them. Focus on what you look like in this role here, because if we're feeding that energy there, that's helping fuel their stuff here. Focus on your stuff. And not that I feel like it should be like a competition, but you want to bring your strengths to the table. And if we're too focused on them in the sense of like that we're neglecting ourselves, then we're not going to get to our place here. But, or, if we feel like, oh, these people are so much more better suited for these roles than I am, Scorpio, why do you think that? Why don't you deserve the star? Why don't you deserve the Chariot? Really dig into that, because I feel like if this is something that you've been trying to manifest for a while, I say go for it. And to envision yourself in that role. If we're having troubles I was just telling Cancer this. If you're trying to get to that manager role, imagine yourself at your desk, kick your feet up, like lean back in your chair. What are you doing, Scorpio? Like how does your day look like? How would you manage things? You know what I mean? Or if you're starting your own business, what is that going to look like? And another thing too, when we're talking about businesses, it doesn't even necessarily, when I'm talking about like empires and things like that, your empire could be like a mom and pop shop. It can be a cafe. It can be a train store, like it just whatever you want, Scorpio. There's no dream too big or too small as long as it fulfills you. That's where that expansion of joy and all of that comes from. And I hope that makes sense. It's just whatever it looks like for you, because I feel like sometimes too I would like to think that I'm your favorite tarot reading, you're just watching me. But if you're watching other people, you get those signs where it's like, oh, Scorpio, big energy's coming. Work with the energies and all that stuff. I can see where that might be a little intimidating. It's like, well, what does that mean? What if I don't want this thing? Well, then Scorpio, go for what you want, because therein lies the answer. And then you have everything that you need, because then you're going to feel motivated to do that thing, and then you're going to go out there and and just get it. Because the Chariot too, this is your win. You've gone from hoping to winning. So look, but it's realizing that you can win. That you do deserve to get that big win. So I can get where even thinking that maybe it might come across as egotistical. Like, well, what do you mean, Justin? Like, what makes me so special that I feel like I should deserve this job? I want to be humble and all this. And like, I'm all for humility, but I don't feel like you should have to shrink yourself as well. You know, let your light shine. You know what I mean? We can be proud of ourselves and be humble. You know, we don't have to shrink to show humility. So, okay, I'm gonna leave that there. Let's get to your third card, which is going to be where you can find some help. So, highest self. Where is it that Scorpio can find some help with this energy? Let's see. Let's see what are some ways that you can get some assistance with this energy here, Scorpio. Nice. Wasn't I just saying that? Do what you love here, Scorpio. You got the Ten of Cups, and that's where you're gonna find. I feel like it, and I know that sounds weird, but if you want help in all of these things, I feel like if your actions are guiding you towards what you want to do, everything else is going to kind of fall into place. You're just going to instinctually know what you like, what to do. And then also, like I was talking about, how you become like a beacon, you know, that law of attraction. If this is what you're going and you're taking that action towards those things, you know, you're manifesting this whatever this business, you know, looks like for you, whatever these business, you know, mogul goals, you know, it's all gonna fall into place. You know, it's just like it's one of those things, again, just believing that, you know, knowing that whatever whatever it is that you're pursuing, if it's filling all of your cups, that this has to be the right, or you know, this is definitely one where you're on the right track. You know what I mean? And maybe finding some people too who maybe are going to support that growth. You know, if we're surrounding by people who are constantly like, where you're like, oh well, I have this dream, and then people like are immediately shooting you down. It's one thing to provide like constructive criticism, but it's another to just like, oh well, Scorpio, that's silly. What, like no one's ever done that before. Like, how could you possibly think to do that? Well, if we went with that mentality, there wouldn't be a plane. We wouldn't even be able to do computer stuff right now, as far as like recording things. You know, it's because the Ten of Cups is Mars and Pisces. And when I think of Pisces, you know, Pisces is about that duality. You know, they function in the spiritual and the material world. Bring your happiness from that spiritual realm and then manifest that in the physical realm. And then those haters that were trying to tell you that you can't do it, show them how happy you are. Or you don't even got to prove it to them. They'll see it, because they'll see your light shining. You know, they'll it's not even something that you got to worry about. And if that's something too, you know, if we've been deterred by like criticisms or stuff, it's like I tell you at the beginning, take what resonates with you, leave the rest with them. And if something like may sound like a good idea, but you're not even sure how it applies right now, throw that thing in orbit. You know, it's not like you're disregarding what you're saying. It's just like it's not the time yet, because maybe there's going to be a situation as you're going down the line, you know, that little nugget will kind of pop back into your realm. Then it's like, oh, here's where I can apply this thing. And then bam, you know, and then just like, you know, lightning in a bottle. So yeah, I feel like really, Scorpio, just really follow your trust your intuition on this thing. You know, this is you know what you want at the end of the day, so go do what you want, and that's where how we're gonna get to our goals here. Now let's get to your fourth card, which is going to be some long-term gains. So higher self. What are some long-term gains for Scorpio here? You know, we're investing in what we love. Let's see how that's about to reward you. Let's see what's going on there, Scorpio. Nice. You got the Two of Swords here. And I feel like with this, you know, if we've been feeling like we've been at this crossroads here, you know, for a while, you know, I really feel like, you know, that internal struggle, you know, of like, well, what if I can't do it? You know, like, how does this, like, you know, am I going down the right path? You know, like, trust that, you know, Scorpio, because the Two of Swords is like, you know, it's peace after struggle. You know, you've been going through some things, but now we found balance again. This is Libra's card. It's the moon in Libra. And I feel like with this as well, you know, it's one of those things that also being aware that, or what's going to come for you is that whatever situation is coming for you here, you're going to be able to keep a balanced scale no matter what's coming at you. Because when I think about the moon is constantly changing phases, you know, taking on the energies of each sign, you know, and then occasionally going void of course and just doing her own thing. But, you know, when I think about it working with Libra energy, you know, it's like, sure, you know, there are going to be curveballs along the way. Again, like I think I had mentioned about that, even when you're doing what you're happy, there might be some resistance along the way. But if we've once we've learned to kind of navigate these energies, really start to trust our instincts, it's everything I feel like is just going to fall in place naturally, and it may even surprise you a little bit, how this thing kind of comes to fruition here. But I do feel like in the long term, if we've been feeling this kind of like turmoil for a little while, or, been feeling these doubts or, uncertainty or whatever that is, I do feel like that this stuff is getting ready to come to a close here. It's just a matter, and I know how this sounds, but, just some patience, keep that tenacity, because it's going to reward you in kind. I feel it. We're in a good time right now. I feel like these next few years are it's just something really awesome is going to happen here, Scorpio. So again, just keep that yeah, believe that, because I see some good stuff cooking here. But let's get to but that's the long term. Let's see what's coming in for your short term. Because sometimes it's just like, well, Justin, I need some instant gratification like right now. Well, here it is, Scorpio. The fifth card is short term gain. So higher self. What are some short-term gains for Scorpio? Let's see what's coming up in this near future here. Let's see. Let's see what's going on for you there, Scorpio. Yeah. Okay. Nice. More twos. You got the two of disc here. And when I think about these twos that are popping up here, I've been had a chance to really kind of start getting into like studying some numerology, and the twos, if I'm not mistaken, are kind of tapping into like not just like that collaborative energy, but I feel like twos it's a very intuitive number as well. And I feel like I know it's really kind of similar to the Two of Swords, where it's just like I feel like you're going to learn to kind of navigate through the space here. It's just because this is Jupiter and Capricorn, and I feel like it's about putting in that work, and then you're going to get your I'm doing this on camera. It's kind of weird. Okay, there we go. You're putting in your hard work here, getting your fortune. You're going to find that balance. I just feel like there's change coming for you. If we've been feeling maybe kind of stuck in a rut, or like not sure about our potential, however that's manifesting, I do feel like there's a change coming. Just to adapt with this thing, Scorpio. Adjust, and if anybody could do it, Scorpio, it's you. I know I've said this at least a couple of times. You've started the school on transformation, and embracing that change, and you're being a water sign. Water signs are just very fluid, working with this energy here. So if we've been feeling kind of down here, keep that drive, because also you're a fixed sign, Scorpio, so maybe, for the kind of general term is like, sure, it may take you a second maybe to get started, but man, once you get it going, man, it's flowing like a river. You know what I mean? Everything's just gonna come with ease. So that's where I feel like this is kind of lining up for you here. Again, really trusting that you got this, and that you can do whatever it is. Empire, mom and pop shop, however that looks like for you. Starting your own thing, whatever. It's going to be. This is some good stuff. I feel like maybe we don't feel it right now, but I feel like the signs are going to start coming up here, Scorpio. So just believe that. I really do feel it. Now let's get to your sixth card, because if you don't feel it, then I'm about to boost your ego up, because we're going to talk about some strengths here. So higher self. What are some strengths that Scorpio may be working with at this time? Let's bring Scorpio's mood up. Let's show them what stuff they're bringing to the table here. Let's see what's going on there, Scorpio. Oh, yeah? Okay. Interesting. You got the Eight of Cups here. And I feel like with this, because the Eight of Cups is a card of indolence, could be a card of procrastination, but I feel like your strength is that it's once you get on that thing, it's going to be how do I want to put this? It's like, yeah, when you start that thing, whatever this business venture that you're starting, I feel like if it's something that's going to drive you, then you're going to go all in for it. But I feel like when Eight of Cups happens, this is like a signal, if we've been feeling kind of like dragging our feet, or just something is not resonating with you, I feel like it's like noticing that sign. It's like, this isn't quite vibing here. I think it's time to adjust a little bit, like, okay, I feel like it's that adaptability is the strength that you're working with. But let's get a little bit more on that, Scorpio, because that is an interesting It's an interesting strength, but I mean a useful one, but it's just how it popped up. Let's get a little bit more on that. Higher self. Can we clarify the Eight of Cups, please? Let's see what's going on with this Eight of Cups here. Okay. You got the Princess of Cups as a clarifier, and I feel like, yeah, it's like kind of like whatever you're, I feel like when you want to give this to this thing, when it's something that you're passionate about, it's that you give your all to this thing. And you pour your heart, your soul, blood, sweat, tears, all of that stuff into this thing here. And I feel like, that's the guiding point. When we've been talking about this whole reading, when we're talking about, what's going to fill up all your cups here, find that thing, because I know personally for me, if I'm not interested or something, it's very obvious, when I'm not like, oh, okay, yeah, that's cool. But when I'm on it, it's like a whole different person that's just like all consumed in it. I feel like, again, this, if we've been getting signals that this, whatever we've been doing right now has not been resonating with you, check in with that. Is it because it may not be that you need to, completely shift careers, Scorpio. It could just be maybe how we're going about it. Let's say if you're like, let's say if you're a lawyer, and you're working in a firm and, you're just like that, you love being a lawyer, but maybe you don't like how the things are being operated at your office or whatever. Go start your own office. Start like a private practice, and I'm not telling you to, keep in mind, Scorpio, I'm not telling you to quit your job. Don't go over there telling them that Justin told you that you had to quit. But be practical. And I know that, and I know you know that, Scorpio. But it's if you don't like the way that something's being run, yeah, change it up a little bit. But if that doesn't quite do it, then it may be time to reevaluate some things, because maybe it may not be the time for it. And it's not to say that you failed at this thing. It's just like it served its purpose, but there's something greater for you. There's a bigger service that you're here to provide here to this world. So I think that that's a really solid strength here. Realizing that just having that awareness of yourself and really being true to what fulfills you and not compromising that thing, and just be in mind. I talk about that awareness too. Yeah, be mindful, because the one thing with the Princess of Cups, she is the type that when she goes all in, she wants to share her abundance with everyone, or whatever she's working on, she's going to pour her whole being into it. But make sure we are being mindful of our energy. It's something that because that's a lot, and if we're pouring it into things that don't raise our vibration, if we're not paying attention to the signs, that's where it gets us in this place of doubt, and it starts where we start slowing down stuff, and we start procrastinating, and we start letting things sort of fall by the wayside here. So tap into that strength, Scorpio. Trust your gut. You know what you want to do at the end of the day, so go do that thing. Now let's get to I hope that made sense. So but let's move on from that. Let's get to your which I know you're probably not super excited to move to this next one, but this is going to be some weaknesses. But for me, weaknesses are strengths waiting to be discovered. So higher self, thanks for that clarifier, higher self. What does Scorpio have? What are some weaknesses that Scorpio needs to could possibly refine? Let's see. What are some ways we can strengthen you up there, Scorpio? Yeah. Okay. Scorpio, you got the Ten of Cups here. And so, excuse me, Nine of Cups. We already had the Ten of Cups. You've had Ten of Cups twice. I'm just cups all over the place, Scorpio. And literally cups all over the place, Scorpio. Weakness. Let me get back focused. I feel like it's for some of us. When I was talking about if we've been kind of dragging our feet or something, we've noticed that there's been a resistance here. I feel like some of us may be denying ourselves our happiness, I'm not sure if it's like, maybe what you're trying to pursue, maybe at the time you're not sure how to maybe make it work for work for you financially, if that makes sense. Maybe we're afraid to make a move then, so we're just like, well, I just have to settle with this thing and kind of have to put my dream on the back burner, and maybe when I retire I can pick this thing up. And Scorpio, if that's what you want to do, again, you're in a judgment-free zone here. I'm gonna kick it with you on this whole journey here all along the way. But I'm just wondering if if you can get more, you know what I mean, and really fill up all of your cups. You got like at least 20 cups to fill here. And I feel like that just means there's just so much abundance that can possibly, and so much emotional fulfillment that can come from doing what you deep down truly want to do, and finding a way to make that work for you here. And Scorpio, remember how we started. If we're not sure how to do it, you think outside of the box. You know, we really are in an innovative time, you know. Like, think about when people were talking about putting planes up in the sky. You're like, I'm gonna put this 1,000+ pound beast up in the air. People probably looked at them like they were insane, probably ready to commit them. But you know what? That didn't deter them. They stuck with their guts. They thought outside of the box, and then they got their happiness. Because think too, this is Jupiter and Pisces, and I feel like it's like, you know, once again, more Pisces energy. You know, you pull this stuff down here from the spiritual realm, your ideas, your hopes, your dreams, and manifest that in the material world. Fortune is going to just rain down on you. You're going to get, all of your cups are going to be filled. But it's, you know, I feel like maybe some of us have been like maybe have put our dreams on the back burner, have been denying ourselves like our entire fulfillment here. So go get what's yours, Scorpio. You deserve it. You know, go get your happiness, because it's all within your grasp here. You know, I feel like maybe we're just with all these cups right now, you know, I feel like maybe we're just feeling real yeah, just a real emotional right now about this thing. I'm not sure what's I feel like, you know, there's a lot of feelings in this stuff here. But you know, I feel like maybe when you get a moment, kind of like sit with this stuff, you know, figure out what's going on with that. Maybe put like a checklist, you know, like how do you see your goals, you know, play around with this energy here, Scorpio. So then I'm gonna leave that there. Let's get to your next card, which is going to be what to focus on in the present. So, higher self, what are some things that Scorpio should focus on in the present? Let's see. Let's see what are some things you can currently work on, Scorpio. Interesting. You got the Six of Swords here. And with the Six of Swords, I feel like right now we need to find, like, a good thing to focus on is finding that thing. Because the Six of Swords is one of the things is about directed knowledge, you know. And what I mean by that, it's like finding that thing that you love, and focusing in on that. You know, how do we make that thing happen? How do we manifest this stuff here? And two, you know, maybe if we've been feeling like lack of inspiration and whatnot, you know, the Six of Swords can also be a card of like traveling. I want to say this one is traveling by, because there's two of them that are like specific kind of travel cards. I want to say this one is traveling by water, but regardless, you know, that could be another thing too with all these cups and water energy here. Maybe we need to get by some water, you know, maybe walk by a lake or go travel to like your nearest body of water, weather permitting. But maybe we need to change up our scenery here, kind of disconnect from our environment, you know, and kind of allow ourselves to be in an unfamiliar place, so that we can kind of be with our thoughts. Maybe that kind of that freshness might bring in something new, you know, something exciting, you know, more Aquarius energy here. And this is Mercury in Aquarius. So it's one of those things. It's like, you know, I feel like, you know, once we really start kind of taking a moment and start like ruminating on this stuff and figuring out what you actually want to, what would fulfill you for this whole journey here. That's where we want to focus on, you know, really kind of hone in on this stuff here and get a real good idea of what it is that you that you want to that you want to manifest. So yeah, let's get to your ninth card, which is going to be what to focus on in the future. So, higher self, what are some things that Scorpio can focus on in the future? Let's see what's going on for you there, Scorpio. Nice. Queen of Wands, and I'm with that. Taking action. And two, you know, when you're taking this action, you know, be fluid in all of this stuff here, you know, figuring out how do you get on this throne here, you know, how do you embody this energy, you know, in the face of the good and the bad, you know, whatever comes your way here. How do we take action, and how do we stay adaptable with the ebbs and flows of all this thing here? You know, this has been really kind of, you know, you had all these twos, you know, getting to this balance place here. And the Queen of Wands, you know, she's got, she's up in this deck, you know, she's got a little bit of water, and she's got, she's the watery part of fire. And with that, you know, this is like, it's two contradictory elements kind of working together here. You know, you're trying to think about it as like, how do we get our dreams and how do we manifest this stuff here? You know, that's what the Queen of Wands is doing. She's manifesting this stuff here, and it might seem like this is out of control here, you know, all of this fire, but look at how calm Felix is. Everything is under control here. She has a grip over her destiny because she's doing what she loves. You know, she's pouring her energy into things that fuel her fire here, and that really get her out of bed, you know, and get her inspired, you know. And that's where I feel like, yeah, we like focusing on how do we take action in this thing, you know, how do we make this happen? Because again, Scorpio, and I'll tell you this as many times as I need to, you can manifest whatever it is that you want. It's just how does that look, you know? It's like, and sit down with that, figure out what does that mean, what steps can we take, and then, you know, start getting that ball rolling. You know, this is, again, the time is ripe for this type of energy here. So let's bring this thing home, Scorpio. So higher, and the last card is going to be some opportunities. So higher self, what are some opportunities that are coming in for Scorpio? Let's see what's going on here, other than just like emotional fulfillment here. Because yeah, I really like this, Scorpio. Nice. You got the Three of Discs here, Scorpio. And I feel like an opportunity that's coming up, and I think I might get a clarifier on that. But with the Three of Discs, you know, this is a card of persevering. You know, I feel like there's an opportunity, again, for you to pursue what you want, but it's going to take some work here. You know, I feel like opportunities are something that if you're waiting for them to fall out of the sky, you know, or let me put it like this. If you're pouring your energy into something that's not fulfilling you and you're trying to force the happiness from this thing here, it's counterproductive. You know, I feel like if you're not, and again, it's not like I'm telling you to quit your job, but it's like maybe we can find a way to, instead of, if you're not finding fulfillment here in whatever you're currently doing, you know, whatever that role looks like, maybe start like a side something here, you know, maybe see if we can do some like, maybe do some kind of like creative things, you know, start like, well, what's a good thing, for example? Maybe do like, if you're into like crafts or something like that, you know, start like a page on Etsy, you know. There's so many, I feel like, tools that we can work with, trying to establish what we want, you know, that we can breathe a little happiness into our lives. But let's get a little bit more on that Three of Discs before we close out. Higher self, can we clarify the Three of Discs, please? Let's get a little bit, just a touch more on that. Okay, I'm with it. So let's switch back over, because the clarifier is the Nine of Swords for this. And so it's one of those things that if we keep, like, I kind of like what I was saying, if we're working towards things that are keeping us in this kind of mental anguish here that has got us to where it's like, why don't I feel like I'm getting fulfilled? You know, you get out of bed and you're just like, oh, I got to go to this job, or, you know, I got to do this thing. And then you're at work and there's just like, oh, is it lunch yet? You know, and it's only been like, you thought like an hour's gone by. It's been like 2 minutes. And, you know, it's just like you've been in this place where it's just like sapping your energy all the time, because even, you know, when you're doing stuff like that, that's energy being put out there, and that's what's attracting back to you, Scorpio. It's, you know, it's shifting the mentality up a little bit. You know, believing that you can manifest your dreams here, make all this happiness here, and that we don't have to be in this place of like, where everything is just so like, what's the word, like tenuous or something along those lines, you know. Yeah, I feel like, you know, sit when you get a moment, Scorpio, kind of, I think it's time for you to take your superpower, that transformative energy, and focus on you right now. See in what ways that you can bring some stuff to light here. You know, what is it that you really want to do? What is that inner child? When you think about when you were a kid, you know, what excited you? You know, did you want to be an astronaut? Did you want to be a firefighter? Did you want to, I don't know, did you want to, I don't know, work with crystals, you know, like be a geologist, like whatever that is, Scorpio. There is no limit. I was gonna say the sky's the limit, but the limit is whatever you want it to be. You know, if you set the limit here, then that's where you're gonna grow. But if you break that ceiling, there is nothing that you can't do. You can get all of your abundance and more. So, I think I'm gonna leave that there, Scorpio. I think that's a good place to be. So, if you like that, give it a thumbs up, and share this thing, Scorpio, if you know, because I can get where this can be. This can wear a lot on our emotions. When we're thinking about this stuff, we're not sure how we're feeling about things. Maybe we're just kind of forcing this stuff here. Spread the love. Let's try to raise that vibration and kind of get you out of this rut here and get you getting to what you want to do. Because Scorpio, you have a lot of Mars energy here when I'm looking at some of these cards. And I do feel like it's a lot of Mars and a lot of Jupiter here. So I feel like it's time to take some action here. Subscribe. I was like, what else are we doing? Subscribe, hit that bell button. You get notified when I release videos each week. I'm getting better about being all up on Facebook. And then lastly, if you have any, because not that you needed one, Scorpio, but you got a ticket here. But come check out my channel, the Chariot and Friends. I do videos Monday through Friday there, discuss lunar shenanigans and all that housekeeping in the description box below. But let me get your surprise card here so I can get you out of here. Nice. Scorpio, here's the thing with this Eight of Wands, but with the Eight of Wands, I feel like once you start focusing on your happiness, what is going to fulfill you, what's going to bring you joy, and it's going to provide you stability on top of that, I just feel like things are going to start coming for you in a way that it's going to be, you're going to start manifesting a lot faster. It's just, if we're staying in this, kind of Nine of Swords energy, Eight of Cups energy, then yeah, things are going to stagnate. It's going to, slow down our growth. But, once we start going in for that fulfillment, really putting that energy in there, being mindful where we're putting that stuff. Really, I feel like things are going to start coming in fast for you, faster than I even think that you realize. And when I said that, thinking about being mindful, sometimes, when we find that thing that fulfills us, maybe we might become a little overzealous. We may, it's like, oh my gosh, I've been waiting for this thing, pour all your energy into it, which I love your ambition. But, that's after a while, that gets hard, it's hard to sustain that. So, again, balance that stuff here, but I definitely say, if you're feeling it, go for it, dear, you deserve that happiness, and keep telling yourself that happiness is coming to me, abundance is coming to me, all that good stuff. So, yeah, I think I'm going to leave that there. So, Scorpio, you stay safe out there, and you know what you do. You keep raising that vibration, and I will catch you on the next one later.